Hello and welcome to Scale Stuff. In this week's video, I'm going to be taking a post-action report look at the Tamiya M10 Achilles tank destroyer. The Achilles was a British conversion of the American M10 tank destroyer, redesigned to accommodate the legendary 17-pounder anti-tank gun. Fitting this gun into the M10 required a deeper turret, modified interior stowage, and revised mantlet and gun mount. Although the Achilles was lightly armoured, the 17-pounder gun was more capable of penetrating the more heavily armoured German tanks, something that the Allies really struggled with using the lighter armed Shermans and Churchills earlier on in the war. Onto the model. The detail on this model is very nice. Everything's really crisp and sharp, with well thought out ejection and feed ports that are mostly hidden well during the construction. According to ScaleMates, this model has a very short lineage, being released in 2019 and based on the Tamiya 2016 American M10 with added parts to make it into a British version. I've scoured the internet for rivet counters regarding this kit, and either none have come to print yet, or overall the model is very accurate to the real thing. Build-wise, there were no issues or fit with any of the parts that came with this kit, and everything goes together really easily. However, there are a few things to keep in mind as you're building this model. Be careful with the main gun. Lots of lovely fine details here, and because of this, some of the finer rods and levers will require a gentle touch to avoid breaking them. Being an open top turret with lots of internal detail and accessories, a lot of the painting needs to be done as you go. Be prepared to paint and shade all of the interior surfaces and gun parts as you go before painting and adding all of the gubbins later on. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get to them. It's pretty crammed in there when the turret's done. Another thing to watch, Tamiya have started using string for the tow ropes, which personally I like, as I used to break so many of the rigid plastic tow rope types. But I have found that this string, once cut, likes to unravel, and a drop of super glue added to the area to be cut will stop this from happening before it starts. Few things to watch wheels and tracks wise. Tamiya suggests not gluing the tension wheel bar in place until the end, and I would like to second this notion that this is best left until last if, like me, you like to paint your tracks off the tank, as it's a bit tricky to try and remove and thread the rubber tracks around with these bits glued on. I made this mistake myself while building the kit, and another one to look out for, even though the drive wheel and idler are push fit via poly caps, the enclosed nature of these parts makes fitting them rather tricky and prone to breakage if forced, which I totally didn't do, I promise. Final last bit to watch out for on the build of this model: if you intend to position the turret facing anywhere but right, don't build the driver's hatch open. Though the poses of the figures in this model are fantastic, they do interfere with a full 360-degree pose. So if you have a certain diorama position in mind, be sure to check that the figures allow this to be compatible. Speaking on the figures, these little chaps really blew me away with their detail and characters. I really like that they each seem to have their own expression and all seem to have different personas carried across in the sculpt. Really well done to Tamiya on these, really bringing their A game. Decals wise, the kit comes with two sets of decals to build a vehicle from: the 75th Anti-Tank Regiment, 11th Armoured Division stationed in Northwest Europe, and the 93rd Anti-Tank Regiment, 1st Infantry Division stationed in Italy. Costing £44, this model is on the high end of what I would consider paying normally for a model. However, overall I think it's well worth the cost, considering the ease of construction, fine detail, and the figures and extra detail count that this kit comes with. Anyway, that's my after action report on the Tamiya Achilles tank destroyer. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, have a good one.